I'm here as ever with my partner in crime, Tom, the
Hello,
pastor
Trevor.
to the pastor to my Phileas Fogg. Um,
Or perhaps the other way around, you can say.
well, I got there first, so I'm going to just keep it like that. So the idea, just a little bit about us. We're Amazon, we're VentLab, we're Amazon specialist agency. We don't do anything else. We've got over 15 years of Amazon selling experience. What we do is we manage accounts on behalf of our customers and grow their sales over the long term. So we're not in it for the quick win. We're in it to build up very long-term relationships and grow people's sales. Got some great case studies. If anyone's interested, please drop us a line. The other thing we're really keen on is cross-border sales. So, Tom, would you like to kick us off with the first set of changes?
It's one of my favourite topics, so I'm very happy to talk about this. So usually when we're talking about big businesses and fees, it's how much are they putting them up by? But amazingly, Amazon are actually dropping some fees. So this is actually a cause for some celebration. They say that they've made various efficiency improvements and want to pass them on, which is great. And so just to go through them, that there's a number of areas where fees are changing. So FBA fees across the piece in all their major markets in the EU and the UK. So France, Germany, Spain, Italy, and the UK are all seeing FBA fees drop, and Amazon say by an average of 26p. So that is far from trifling. I would say, check to see there's a new rate card that's been published. So just check to see what it means for you. But I think, I don't see a downside to this. I think this is all good news. There's also some referral fees. So obviously the referral fee is the percentage of sales Amazon take, usually 15%. But in some categories, that's falling. So in clothing and accessories, that's dropping from 15 to 10%. For items above £10, and for items below £10, it's going from 8 down to 5%. So, that's really quite significant changes, and that can have a big impact on your profitability. Other categories such as home, pet, and grocery are also seeing various changes. I'm not going to go through all the detail, but again, the referral fees are dropping in those categories. And Amazon are also capping the variable element of best and lightning deals. So again, if you do a lot of those and they're successful for you, then you'll see those fees coming down too. So all in all, good news. There are a few areas where fees are going up. Amazon say by about 2p a unit. So, nothing compared to the savings they're passing on. So where fees are going up is in FBA across Europe, but not in the big markets. So the Polands and the Swedens and the Netherlands of this world. And also storage fees will be going up. So just keep an eye on those. And as ever, just understand what your fees are and make sure you understand what impact this will have. But I think this could be good news for everyone's profit. So that's the big news. The other two are fairly minor. So Amazon are also offering slightly bigger bulk fee order discounts. So essentially, if you have a business order of over £1,000, you will get a fee discount on it. And that discount increases with the bigger the size of the order. So over £100,000 on an order, your fee might drop, the referral fee might drop from 15% down to 5%. Whether you're getting those 100k orders, probably unlikely.
I like
in the happy event. In the happy event that you'll be paying a lower fee on those. And then finally, Prime exclusive deals. So these are promotions exclusive to Prime members. Historically, in the past, they've only been available on the key Amazon sales period. So that might be the Prime days in July and October or March, and obviously Black Friday, Cyber Monday. But now you can use them all year round. To be honest, we haven't achieved great success with these. It just feels like you're talking to a small section rather than a larger proportion of your potential shoppers. So we haven't seen big uplifts when we've used them, but you can now use them all the time, and perhaps that will work for you. So give it a try. as ever, if you run promotions, do analysis and just make sure you understand what you're achieving.
Cool. I've got a few comments I want to make on this. Firstly, I mean, I've always thought that FBA fees were tremendous value. I mean, lots of things about Amazon are very expensive, but if you compare the cost of sending something FBA to the cost of sending something by raw mail, it's a very good deal.
I'd 100% agree. And to be fair, we always say to our clients, use FBA if you can. It becomes less cost effective, usually above around 2 kilos, but below 2 kilos.
Yeah. It's really designed for things that go into. It's designed for things that go into packages with other things. So it's very good for that. I think the bulk order discount, the fee discounts just reflect the referral fee discounts really just reflect the fact that it's an ever more competitive market. So yes, the fees have gone down, but it probably means that the market's getting more competitive. They don't. I mean, that's why they charge so much for jewelry and stuff like that. So it's just a very competitive market. Right. Okay. Next slide. Right. I talk about fulfillment and logistics. On-time delivery is something which Amazon has now brought into its kind of account health mix. I mean, it used to be. I mean, Amazon has so many different metrics. It's very hard to know which ones are important and which aren't important. But this on-time delivery has now become an important thing. I mean, back in September, they started showing. They started giving more metrics about this, and from February, it's actually going to be something which accounts will be suspended about. So you really need to make sure that your items are being delivered on time. Again, another good reason to use FBA. They expect 90% on-time delivery. Now, if you can't do 90% on-time delivery, then you're using the wrong courier, I think, frankly. So, watch those carefully. This is obviously going to disproportionately affect FBM sellers. I mean, in fact, only affects FBM sellers. As with these things, even small delays can compound. I mean, you get a delay. It's something which, if you don't deal with it, it gets worse. You get your account suspended, and it's really hard to get them opened again. Right. Okay. So this is on a similar topic. New FBM functionality. Sellers can set their own holiday days. So if you got used to just have the country's bank holidays, now if for some reason you need to shut down, and not deliver for a few days, then you can set that up yourself. Also, that's something you do from the general shipping settings under the main seller top right hand corner account settings. You can also see your handling time and transit times and order reports. If you do have problems with your with how your orders are being delivered, you can see what metrics what figures Amazon's comparing you against. Commingling was some changes to commingling. Commingling was where I always get this wrong. If you had people selling same products that were going into Amazon warehouse, what it was that Amazon would mix them all up and just take the top one out, as it were. So it could be that your stuff was being put in with other people's stuff, and they'd send someone else's item to one of your customers. In theory, that was fine if they're all the same. But I mean, people had problems with fakes being sent in. So now what's happening is if you are a brand owner, you will no longer have to do commingling. But if you're if you're a brand owner as registered in brand registry, or you have brand representation rights in Amazon, Amazon brand registry, all resellers are going to have to relabel their products. So that's good, I think, for good for brand owners, less good for resellers. But I mean, resellers probably were relabeling anyway. If you're a reseller, I think you need to make sure that you can work this into your workflow. Prep services. So Amazon is stopping offering prep services. So prep services are things like polybagging and labeling. It's not entirely sure to me. I mean, I'm guessing that if it's not labeled, then they'll send it back. So I'd be, that's something you want to avoid. So you'll find, if you don't want to do this yourself, I think you'll find that there's a lot of third-party fulfillment houses, and also separate processing companies will do it for you. You really don't want to have the stuff sent back to you. So really, check the kind of products that need bagging. So I've just put an example here. If you're, for example, someone that sells soft toys, they need to go into poly bags. If you've got open front of boxes, they need to be poly bagged as well. Everything needs to be have a readable barcode on the outside of it. Multi-channel fulfillment is they're expanding that, so it can be used with things like Walmart and and Shopify. So Walmart had a stipulation that you couldn't use. Basically, said you couldn't use FBA, but the thing they wanted the stuff sent in blank boxes with a non-Amazon carrier. So you can now select to have that done. Now, multi-channel fulfillment is very convenient from the point of view that you don't have to have multiple warehouses you don't have to use an extra warehouse, but it is much more expensive than using FBA, but then it is pretty convenient. Finally, pan-European FBA expansion. They're insisting, so pan-European FBA means that if you have a inventory stored in a number of countries of France, Italy, Germany, Spain, in the EU, then you can use a single inventory pool, and you will get the local FBA rate in each country. And it used to be, in order to have that, you need to have a listing in France, Italy, Germany, and Spain. Now it's only the Netherlands. Now it's France, Italy, Germany, Spain, and the Netherlands you need. So you'll need to make sure you have a VAT number for the Netherlands, and also, be prepared that your stock will going to be stored there. Any comments, Tom?
I would say the Netherlands is a good market to sell in anyway. We've seen across some of our clients who sell in the Netherlands that they're seeing sales equivalent to Spain or Italy or greater than those. So I would say, why wouldn't you want to sell in the Netherlands anyway? It's a big market, a fairly affluent people. So I don't think that's really much of a problem.
There's obviously a bit more effort in that you need to translate things and etc. But if you're already doing that in France, Italy, Germany, and Spain, you're probably quite used to it.
Correct. I'd agree with all that. Okay, so a few items on catalog updates and seller tools. So let's just dive into them. Amazon have rolled out an AI advertising tool for videos in particular. So this video tool, you can load up some product pages, images, perhaps any videos that you already got, and Amazon will generate 6 AI videos, and you can choose the best one. And this has been very successful in the States. Thousands of small and medium-sized companies have used this. It's really a way of getting high-quality video when you don't have the budget as a small business to create it. So well worth having a go and playing around with that, especially if you're doing video-style advertising. So, generally that means you're doing the sponsored display advertising rather than just the standard search, the sponsored product. So, but well worth doing. Virtual bundles. This is a new-ish tool. It's been around in the UK a little while now, that allows you to create bundles of products, virtual bundles. So essentially, you can put 2 to 5 existing ASINs together in a bundle and sell them at a discounted price. So obviously, it's very good for cross-selling. The cons are, obviously, you need to be in stock of all the items to be able to sell the bundle. The other con, which you have to dig into a little bit, is to find it, is the fee you charge, the FBA fee, is there is no discounted FBA. You charge the same FBA fee for all the products in there. So so you have to give away a discount, but you don't get any savings on delivery. So I would suggest, and some of our clients have done this, they've created their own bundles, physical bundles, under a new barcode, and ship those into FBA, and then you have one delivery fee rather than 3, 4, or 5. So worth having a look at, and it might work for some.
Good for trialing our bundles.
It could be, yeah. A+ content shoppable collections. Actually, other than the fee reduction, this is probably the thing I'm most interested and excited about. It's always historically been quite hard to cross-sell your products on Amazon. So obviously the store is a good way of doing that, but as we know, only a small percentage of people actually visit your store. So other than that, it's quite hard to show your own products on your own listings. And we, in the past, currently in fact, will target our own products for advertising for kind of complementary products. So, if you sell, I don't know, dog food, you might want to sell a dog bowl to go with it, and you could put an advert for your own dog bowl on your dog food listing. So, as an example, whereas now you can use your brand story slot in A+ content for what are called shoppable collections. Essentially, it's carousels of products that appear on your A+ content. It replaces the brand story. So you might need to find, if that's important to you, you might need to work that into your existing EBC A+ content. But these are clickable products that can take your customers through to other product pages of your own products, and so they can shop between them. So I think that's really nice. I guess there's a downside that maybe it takes you away from the product where they started, but it allows consumers to browse your product range. And if you've got a lot of different products that they might be interested in, this could be really valuable. So I would suggest that you try it and analyze it and see what difference it makes. But I will certainly be trying it on some of our clients. Image Manager. So a nice little improvement here. I'm sure, like us, you found that random images find their way onto your product listings, and you kind of think, how did that image get there? Now, Image Manager will tell you. So it tells you which of your products are live, and it tells you which products or where the images on your product listings are actually coming from, whether it's from someone associated with you or whether it's someone that is unknown to you. Amazon say they take the best images. They don't always tell you where they come from. And I think this is a nice tool that will help you understand that better. Given how important images are to selling, I think it's key. And lastly, AI shopping experience. There's a new tool Amazon rolled out. You'll have seen Rufus, which is their kind of AI shopping assistant. They've now got something called Help Me Decide, which essentially will help consumers pick on a specific product. Amazon are aware of the vast amount of choice they've got. This is a little AI service. It looks at a consumer's preferences, browsing history, previous searches, previous purchases, and recommends a single product. And it will also explain why it's a good fit. So, if you've been browsing for bicycles and it knows that maybe you're in a relationship with someone else, it might suggest a tandem and say, this is great because, there's two of you and you can sit. How well it's going to work, I don't know. But it's just another example of how AI is changing the Amazon shopping experience, and the kind of things that we've done in the past that have worked aren't always going to work in the future. So we need to adapt to the new world of AI and Amazon. Trevor,
yes, I wonder. Yeah, interesting. It'd be interesting to know because obviously the search at the moment is based on reviews. I don't know what the AI shopping experience will go by.
In what they've said, it's not based on reviews. It's not based on. I mean, I'm sure maybe they'll take the product characteristics into account, but they say it's based on what you've done as an individual on Amazon in the past. So, it will put all of that together. I mean, I don't know what it'll come up with for me, given I do a lot of Amazon searching and browsing for work purposes. Who knows what recommendations it will make? But and that's maybe the weakness. If you're part of a family and you're buying for your mother and your children and your nephew and somebody's baby, how is it going to know what's appropriate to you? But for some people, I'm sure some of the time it'll come up with some useful stuff, and I'm sure it will drive extra sales.
Right. Cool. Right. Let's just move on to the next slide. Okay, account management. So a few kind of small updates here. Amazon's updated the customer service metrics in Feedback Manager. So the preventable contact rate is now the bar contact rate. So what that means is the number of times that a customer had to contact you about a faulty order. So that's showing us a percentage that now actually, you can look at that and you can use that as a metric to see how well you're doing in terms of your customer service. The average contact response time now measures only the context that you actually responded to, which gives provides a clearer signal of product quality and fulfillment friction. The seller feedback has been simplified, so now you can we used to have to give a little description and a star rating, but now you only have to give a star rating. So we expect that to be to really increase the number of reviews that people give, and given that people generally give when they leave reviews, they tend to be positive. I think that's good for sellers, or certainly good for good sellers. So it's really kind of reducing the friction required to leave a review. Seller fulfilled refund process is updating. Now you'll have longer. If there's a request for a refund, you'll have longer to actually process. The parcel is going from 2 days to 4 days, which makes things easier. I mean, Amazon's done a few things this month that are actually considerate. That is, I like them. They're usually just upping the ante just to make your life more difficult. Anyway, so also missing this refund window again will reduce your safety claim eligibility in most cases. Finally, account health assurance. What that means is if you've got generally good account health, so that's account health rating over 250, then what happens if 250 for over 6 months? If you have an issue and you contact Amazon within 72 hours, your account won't automatically get shut down. So if you're, as you know, if your account got shut down, it can be very hard to get it open. This just gives you a 3-day window in order to get it sorted, which is most welcome, because fixing these things is stressful to say the least. Tom, have you got anything else to add to that?
No, I mean, the account health assurance has been around for a little while now. It started at some point last year. There are, I can't remember offhand, but there are a couple of other hoops you need to jump through. I think one is having an emergency contact number. If your account rating has been over 250 for more than 6 months, you automatically apply. It doesn't cost anything. Just make sure that if you're eligible for it, that you've got it. Make sure that you give them whatever details they want, because it is extremely valuable. When you need it, you'll really need it. Trevor and I have had accounts shut down, not fortunately with any of our clients, but
not our fault.
It's just,
I think it's
not our fault.
The really critical bit.
Yes, but it's awful. You lose a load of sales and you just worry, and it's very difficult to get it reopened. So.
It's very boring, and they make you write extremely boring documents, which take a very long time, and they're pages and pages and pages long. So yeah,
we had a full head of hair before our account.
Yes, no, that was. It's always easier to get these things fixed before they actually become a problem. And also, I mean, again, it's one of the things on this is you need to respond to them in 72 hours, so you need to make sure that someone is monitoring it at all times. Because if you miss that 72-hour window, you will get your account shut down.
Agreed.
Okay, finally, some ideas for growing a business in 2026. Over to you, Tom.
Yes, well, I hope you all had a good Q4, and for most of our clients, it's the busiest time. Not for all of them, but for most of them, it's an absolutely critical time of the year. Moving into 2026, it's time to kind of lay your plans for how you're going to expand. So generally, Trevor and my philosophy, if you will, of online selling on Amazon in particular is just sell as many things in as many places as you can. So have you got all of your products listed on Amazon? There's very little downside to having all your products listed. Obviously some will sell and some won't, but trialing new products on Amazon is about as low cost as it is to trial anything anywhere. So expand your catalog. Make sure your listings are as good as possible. So in particular, are your images as good as possible? Are they really selling your product? Do you have the right kind of infographics? Do you have the right keywords in your products? Have you populated all of your bullet points? It still amazes me that people just don't use the bullet points. Have you got A+ content? Have you got stores? Is everything as good as it can be? Build sales history. We know that Amazon uses your rate of sale when it comes to determining where you sit on natural search. And natural search is still important. So build your sales history. Make sure that you're doing everything you can to grow your sales. Don't go out of stock because that kills your sales history. Monitor performance closely. Make sure you're on it. If sales are slowing down, try and find out why. Look at your products, check product by product. Is everything working as well as it can be? And then finally, expanded nationally. Trevor and I love a bit of international expansion. We've taken a lot of our clients
We
into
can't travel. If we can't travel there, we like to sell there.
yes. And it's so easy to do on Amazon. It doesn't work for everyone everywhere, but we've had huge success all over the world with our various clients. And if that's something that is of interest to you, if you've got the rights to sell overseas, why wouldn't you? There's always a few regulatory hurdles, but generally it's not that hard.
Well, the US is literally 10 times the size of the UK.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know how big the EU is compared to the UK, but it'd be probably
France and Germany are very similar sizes to the UK. Add in all the others, and you're looking at a market that's probably 5 times the size of the UK. And we've launched one of our clients in Japan last year, and now it's half the size of the UK and growing quickly. So that will overtake the UK at some point this year, I'm sure. So there's lots of different markets. Make sure that you are using all of them. Why wouldn't you?